What's up, everybody? If you're anything like me, there's a good chance that you want to be somewhere other than where you are right now.
Right.
Well, you're in luck
Uh,
because today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to get to where you want to be. This is the Existential Stoic podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. What's up, Danny?
what's up, Randy?
Do you ever find yourself in the same position where you just want to be anywhere but where you are?
It's so funny because I think like all of us, right? Like if you have goals and aspirations, you're going to be dissatisfied with where you are now. And part of dissatisfaction is seeing how you can change it and improve it and then getting there. And like we talked about so many times though, but it always takes so long. You just want it to be now. I know right now, like where I want to be and I want to get out of where I am now, and just be there. And but you got to get there too.
And the irony of it is, like, for instance, right now, there's other places where I want to be, but where I am right now, I worked so long and so hard to get where I am right
Yeah.
now, and it's
Yeah,
like
it's like
not appreciating it at all.
well, the funny thing is too, though, I think it's also nice though. Like it is funny though, right? You work all this time and you barely give yourself a chance to appreciate it. But I'm also grateful too that I know also though where I want to go because I think that it's like so important. Like it makes life so much more like meaningful, purposeful, and just better. I think knowing that.
Yeah, having vision is huge. Like Helen Keller was saying, somebody asked her, "Is anything worse than being blind?" And she was like, "Yeah, being able to see but having no vision."
Oh,
Mm, boom.
very
So
nice.
we'll just mic
Just
drop
threw
on
that
that
mic down.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
We'll mic drop on that one. Get started. We're each going to share three quick tips for how to get where you want to be. I will go first. So, the first thing for me to figure out how to get where you want to be is actually figure out where you are, because it allows you to stop struggling. Like I feel like so much of the time we're all trying, like striving by might and may to just keep our head above water and to get to this place. And sometimes you just need to stop and realize where you are, because number one, you may already be somewhere where you want to be.
Yeah.
And then number two, it at least gives you the starting point so that way you can figure out your trajectory to where you're going to go.
I like that one because actually, when you mentioned that, I thought of something different too. But I actually like what you said because you're right. If you actually give yourself a chance to stop, you might actually start to notice things that you like where you are. So you don't want to change everything anyway. But the way I thought about it was too like when you stop and really think about it too and get your head out of like the day to day, a lot of times it helps you see the things that you need to change. Like I had to do that in order to realize like that it took a lot of forces, but like to realize that the job I'm doing right now, I don't want to do anymore. I want to do something else for a lot of reasons. It's not that I don't like it, but the thing itself, I guess, but I don't like, the whole organization, right? Around it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think that's a
Yeah,
good one.
awesome.
My first one, and I think we talked about this before though, is turn towards your fear. Because I think for a lot of us, and I've noticed myself, like I can't count the times that like when I'm really afraid of something, it's like it's funny. It's like I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid of succeeding something that I really want. And like we do this trick with ourselves where we fear things that we really want because we're afraid that if we get it, we'll fail or something like that. So turn towards that fear because a lot of times I think that is an indicator of actually what you want. Because it's also the new thing, right? It's also change. And I think that that's important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like most of what we want is right on the other side of our fears. And it's not like anybody else is holding us back. It's always just
Yeah.
ourselves holding us back. Like nobody's out there actively trying to prevent you from having whatever you want in life. It's just us and our fears.
It's so funny, isn't it? And we imagine all these forces and people, with their strings, and really it's just us.
Yeah. So my next one, for how to get where you want to be, is to actually see yourself as already there. And this is something that I practice with like the goals that I have for my life, actually envisioning myself already in attainment of them. Because if I look back over my life, there's a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I was able to accomplish most of those things. And really, the only difference between me actually wanting it and me accomplishing it was just a short period of time. Sometimes it was long, but in hindsight, it's a short period of time. And it really, over the course of your entire life or the life of the universe, it's a very short time. So really, what you want, you theoretically already have. You just need to, I think, imagine it and then just be patient.
I really like that one too, because it's that idea of also imagining yourself as like worthy of it and also as possessing not being an imposter. Because like I think I mentioned to you before, like I had listened to this thing that was talking about kids in schools that are really difficult, underprivileged. Like they still have a pretty high college rate, but a lot of those kids they like it's like a 20% success rate after they get in. And the reason is like they found that a lot of them just don't feel like they belong. They can't imagine themselves as part of it, as even deserving it. And like that's the big thing. If you can imagine yourself there, you can imagine yourself deserving it. And that is like so important mentally to actually like succeed
Hmm.
and to
Yeah,
get
it
there.
all comes down to mindset and what we believe about it. Like I remember they did some experiments with classes where they took like the best students and the teachers told them that they were in like the worst class because they were doing it as bad as possible. And then they took the worst students and they told them they were in the best class because they have a track record of doing very well. And the students just basically lived up to what the teacher expected
Yeah.
because that's what they were told. So it's the same thing in life. Like, what do we expect?
Do we forget how much our mindsets are, how powerful they are?
Hmm.
And to that note, then too, my second one is keep learning and keep exploring. I think this is crucial because a lot of people do they like get settled into something, a job, a career, whatever, and they stop. But if you keep learning, keep exploring, not only do you keep like sort of developing the skills you have, you do new things, but you also never know what you're going to find that actually might be where you want to be. Like, and I can't stress that, like, because I like, I think about that all the time. There's so many things that I've stumbled upon that I didn't even know existed, and it turned out I wanted to be there, but I would never have known unless I tried it.
Exactly. It's that explore exploit
Yeah,
duality that we talked about previously, how you kind of need to bounce back and forth between the explore and the exploit. And the funny part of it is like sometimes I'll get caught in the trap where I'll explore one thing one time,
yeah.
like, and then it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do now? I knew it wasn't going to work. Like, it's just
That
like,
whole set of things is impossible for me. Moving on.
yeah, right? Oh man. So my last one for how to get where you want to be is to be grateful. And this is on multiple levels. Be grateful for where you are now. Be grateful for the things you've already accomplished, for the places you've already been, but also be grateful that that thing that you want is already yours. And then it'll come to be yours much sooner.
Gratitude's so important too. I'd also add, be grateful that you actually still have the opportunity to progress somewhere, to go somewhere, to have a vision, to have a plan, to have a goal. Like, it's like funny, but like our achievements are so important to defining us and who we are. And like, just be grateful that you're able to do these things. You're able to learn new things. You're able to go out in the world. I think we too often get caught up and don't stop and actually just express thanks for what we have, where we are, all of that. And it does really help with like positivity and everything and keeping you going and keeping you focused. I like that one.
Mm.
My last one is listen to yourself honestly. Because we talked about this a lot. And I think for both of us, we both mentioned like we both have had careers and are transitioning or have transitioned because and we both realized like later in life that we both always loved technology and now we're doing coding. We always love that kind of stuff, tinkering and all. And like it's just funny how like a lot of times you're blind to the things that like are really already within you, guiding you. And if you pay attention to that early and honestly, it can be a huge help to getting where you actually want to be or should be, maybe, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Listening honestly is huge because it's oftentimes like a still small quiet voice. It's not
Yeah.
like yelling the answer, but it just keeps giving you these hints over and over and over again. It's like how many times does it need to smack you across the face until you open up your eyes? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is it. Quick little
Oh,
quick fix for
dang.
how to get where you want to be. Very short, very quick, very simple. So if you did enjoy that, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We will catch you later on. I'm Randy. That's Danny. I'll see you later, Danny.
Later, Randy.